Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Hey Donna, I'm really good. How are you?
Good. I wanted to introduce Jennifer to everybody today because she has a phenomenal story to tell us about how she used hypnosis, of all things, to have a baby. So, Jennifer, I guess my first question is what in the world would make you decide to use hypnosis during the birthing process?
Honestly, it came down to, it's funny. It turns out this actually isn't true, but I thought I had heard a friend tell me that she had done it and that she had an amazing experience. It turns out later on she hadn't quite done hypnosis. It was some other self-talk, but I had this thought in my head that this is what's going to work for me because I was really afraid that nothing else would. I'm not exactly known for being a tough cookie. Um, really felt passionate about wanting to have a natural birth, about wanting to do something that just seemed like the best for myself and my child. So I decided to try it, and I'm really glad I did. It was an amazing experience.
Well, how did you have to practice the hypnosis, like do self hypnosis before the day of delivery?
Yeah, it started probably 4 months beforehand, and every day at my on my lunch hour I was doing 20-30 minute little hypnosises that my birth coach was providing, and it was all about practicing getting into deep relaxation. Even now, if I use the same trigger phrase,
Hmm.
which for me was let go, if I
Let
just
go.
close and do that, yeah, if I just do it, my whole entire body can relax and I can just get into such a better mental everything state just by doing it.
Wow. So tell us a little bit how it worked on the day of delivery.
It's funny. I think it was actually all the pre-work that made it work so well because it was my first child. So I obviously had no idea really what to expect. And I really didn't even experience too much of all the pre-labor and all the early labor stuff that was going on
Uh-huh.
because I was just in this state of relaxation. So I was going to work the days before my water actually broke and before I actually went to the birth house and telling my coworker, like, gosh, I just feel so funny, but this isn't it because it's not painful. It's not uncomfortable. It's just funny. And she looks at me like, really? You're 9 months pregnant and wrong? Really? Like, well, I was just so relaxed and comfortable. So we were in the last birth class and I went to the bathroom and my water broke. And then all of a sudden, boom, I really went into contractions. So my first thought was actually, oh my God, this is really intense. This is happening. Maybe I'm not that ready for it. But found out within a couple hours, I was actually already pretty far in because I went to the birth house probably more than 3 hours later and I was 9 centimeters dilated already.
Holy cow.
So and I remember thinking as she's checking, like, please tell me I'm far along because I was just so sad I'd be discouraged. And like, no, I'm only 3. But because I'd done all that, I was so relaxed and so okay with what was about to happen that my body just took care of itself. And I didn't have time to feel anxious
Uh-huh.
or, be the pain, which is all that my instructor had said, break the tension, pain, fear cycle. And it did. And oh, thank goodness.
Wow. So what
So
kind of things did she teach you how to do? Sorry.
it was,
Bella,
that's a perfect lead in.
Bella. Sorry.
It's so funny. No, it was all about that actually. It was all about going with the flow, just not being worried about what was going on around me and just tuning everything else out and just being okay with being in the moment in the process of having a baby and
Wow.
not worrying about it.
How many hours were you in labor?
Probably 6.
6 hours. And did you
Yeah.
feel any pain during that time?
I was definitely uncomfortable towards the end of it.
Mhm.
But it's still kind of hard to actually think of it as a painful experience. Well, I mean, it was a painful experience, but it was by no means the most painful experience in my life. It felt like the most intense experience in my life. And it
Yeah.
was really cool to be that. I had never been so present in my whole entire life, you know?
So I think a
So
lot of people get really caught up with hypnosis. What I hear patients say all the time is, well, I won't be able to make any, I won't be able to hear or see or do anything. And
Right.
hypnosis is really not like that. There's actually phases that we go through in our brain from beta, alpha to theta. And the hypnosis really helps that alpha theta brainwave, which is what really helps relax us. So you were wide awake, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I knew that going in, but I didn't really realize it until afterwards that, oh, really, I'm going to be here present the whole time. Because I, and I guess it's just because I didn't really know what to expect, you know, having my
Yeah.
first baby in another way. Um, During the process, I was kind of going back and forth with feeling a little bit discouraged, thinking like, maybe it's not working. Maybe this is hard, but I was getting reminders and cues the whole time as I was getting feedback from other people around me, as my husband and my doula were saying, like, you're so relaxed right now. Like, I was holding on to the tub. It was a water birth, but my hands were completely loose and relaxed the whole time. And I was just doing everything everyone was telling me. And so I kept getting feedback from all of them, like, wow, you're so calm and you're so relaxed. You're doing great. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
I'm
This is
doing it.
supposed to
I'm
be a
doing
super
it. Oh
intense
my
one.
gosh, this
Yeah.
is awesome.
And so looking back now, I'm able to realize, like, yeah, actually I kicked ass at that. That was really wonderful.
Yeah,
But
I had one natural birth out of my three children, and that was 10 of a 10 pain. I didn't have like any of those relaxation tips built up into it. So I think it's amazing. Like it sounds like you kept pretty good focus during the birthing process, and that you had. Did you do breathing exercises, or did you have? I know they sometimes set triggers or anchors. Did you use
mm-hmm.
something like that?
The best advice I'd gotten from friends as well as my doula was to moo, so to speak. So when I was breathing, just releasing all the energy out and just being able to release low guttural sounds at just to get all the energy out as I was breathing.
Uh-huh.
And that really helped so much. And then the other things that were helpful was that one of my other triggers would be my husband would put his hand on my shoulder and say, relax. And he would do that. And I would instantly just like sink down an inch, like, oh, okay, all right, relax.
Did he
So
practice the
all that helped.
hypnosis with you?
He did. Yeah. Yeah, he actually, we practiced them together so that he would be in a state of relaxation.
Uh-huh.
He read practice scripts out loud to me, so I was kind of used to like hearing his voice and being relaxed. So it was great. Yeah, it was
So
definitely a first.
amazing. I've
Thank
never
you.
heard of it before, and that was something I wanted to share with other people. One, because you don't hear about people doing it through the birthing process, and two, to help people understand that hypnosis is not a state of unawareness. It is a state of extreme awareness, almost like you're in that subconscious mind, and you're feeling relaxed, and you're able to like calm yourself instead of being out in this busy beta world where we're like, from all the stress and anxiety. So it sounds
Yeah.
like during the birthing process, you were like taking that world outside and really calming it down and bringing it to a place within yourself that was really quite beautiful in the process of having your baby.
And I felt like it was even better than that. Like I was going deep enough where I was getting out of my own way. It wasn't just the rest of the world. I was taking my own distractions out of it. I really distinctly remember towards the end, all of a sudden, like asking my midwives, hold on, it feels like I'm pushing. Am I pushing? Like I didn't realize my body was completely ready to do it without my brain at all. So it was so helpful to get out of my own way, because I've gotten in my way a lot of times and I would have freaked myself out. So it was really, really beautiful to be able to do that.
So it sounds like it's something that you would recommend to other people.
Absolutely. I tell everybody that's willing to listen about it.
So I guess
Absolutely.
like for me, I'm a hypnotherapist, so I obviously believe in it, but it's so much easier for patients and people to hear about how well hypnosis works during stressful or pain, because there's a lot of studies that show it helps reduce pain for people with, sciatica or low back pain or neuropathy and things like that. But people got to hear it from patients or people that have done it. So I think it's so exciting for you to be here and sharing your story, because everybody needs to hear that there are other ways to wellness. So thank you so much for sharing your story. You have any last remarks you'd like to share?
No, I completely agree with you, Donna. Like that's what got me feeling brave enough to do it, was reading positive birth stories, watching videos about successful hypnosis. I saw one about a hypnosis instructor himself putting himself into a deep state of hypnosis for his own surgery, and he had no anesthesia. And so there was just lots of reassurances that I got to see. And I think that is the best thing we can do, is tell each other the positive stories instead of the war stories. We don't need to hear that, especially in the situation of giving birth.
Yeah, yeah, it's supposed to be like it is magical. It is the most magical ever. And, the fact that you were able to enjoy the whole process and it became magical even within the whole thing is so beautiful, really. So, well,
Yeah.
congratulations to you. I would have never thought of something like that back when I was having children. So, very inventive. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing. I hope other people, if you have any questions, just type it in the box and I'll answer it if you have any. If you want to set up hypnosis, you can always do that. And you can do it through the website. Okay, see you later.